I had to go live. This is just about that time that had to be like, I don't know what kind of word I should kind of put it as a definition. If it's like where it's like a unisex is, let's call it no, not unisex. What is it called when it's like a man and a woman's situation, or a man's thinking and a woman's thinking? Okay, because I came to work. I'm only gonna do like 30 minutes in here, and then I gotta go talk to the executive director, which we already talked yesterday, so she understands. Like I'm saying, woman's thinking and a man's thinking. Oh, yeah, let me go look at my live. Um, so I only did 1 hour there. So basically, I woke up this morning just to try and help out, right? Just to try and help out at work, but they want me to do a double shift. I said, this was already, how do you say, like, I guess scheduled or whatever, but I happen to be polite and say yes. Okay. But for a manager that is a man to know that if I hand you a medical letter that's saying that I can't lift too many heavy, then you need to make that as a priority as from that specific worker. Don't count on her to do a double shift at that. Okay? Why would you make somebody do a double shift when it consists of things that could possibly have you to carry heavy things? That's just not, it's like it has to be limited. But see, he doesn't care. And then the other workers, they seem to not wanting to do their job because they're tired of working. They're tired of what they're doing, because that's just how it is when they do a full time doing what it is. Um, it's too much, they say. The older lady, for me, now, if I didn't have to get these like biopsies and stuff like that, then I would be carrying my trays, like the rounded trays, not the tray for the tray carts. Tray carts are like rectangles, but the circle trays are the ones that you carry to do dining. Now, I can't carry the circle ones anymore because I don't want to strain like my chest area. You know what I'm saying? Like having, procedures done where your breast is at puts you in a situation where it's like something that's still trying to heal. It just doesn't heal in 4 or 5 days. You know what I'm saying? So a manager doesn't understand that it just doesn't take 5 days. And then you think about putting that person on a double shift, it just doesn't make sense. So I said, you know what? I went home last night tired. I said, let me just break it down to you. I said, I'm not going to do later shift. I said, you can have the dishwasher, Maria, do it. Since she was helping last night, she was doing the tray cart while I was outside dining. She did like 2 or 3 people, which was okay. It helped because she was done with her dishes. Um, so yeah, she can help do dinner tonight with the Filipino chef. I mean, they're gonna have to deal with it anyway. Uh, That those are some things that is called when people have to be situated from something that is either hospitalized or going to either treatments and it just has to be like that. Or let's just say if somebody just comes out the blue and says, hey, I resign. You're going to have to pick up things where it has to be on the top of your head to know that a plan um, is to set up like old applications that went through from the past that we're trying to get in, or other staff members if they know anybody that wanted to kind of help out in the kitchen or something like that. And you got to stay on it. You can't just like do your job and then um, just walk away from work. You're a manager too. You got to pick up from having resources to have your message sent to, like, the human resources, the directors, the marketers, and stuff like that. Like, hey, can you do this? This person wants to do this. Hey, can you do that? I need this. Stuff like that. This shit is like crazy. I went home. I said, hell no, I ain't gonna do no double shift. I said, no, 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 no. He was like, yeah, you said yes, but the thing is that why would you put somebody on a double shift if you know that I just already handed you a letter saying that there's just something wrong? You know what I'm saying? It's better enough for you to just keep me limited on a shift where I'm going to be slowly kind of pushing away, like slowly pushing away as far as to be there. So basically, it'll be 5 days to 3 days. And then all of a sudden, it's like I can just be like not coming, you know? This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. And then May Moon, she pissed me off. I said, she can do it by herself. Her ass pissed me off though, because her stupid ass don't understand. Her dumb ass don't. What's up, Junior? What's up, Terrence? Oh, Terrence, yeah. See, at least Terrence, like he's been on. He work at a fast. You work at the food industry. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he calls it a restaurant. That dining room is not a restaurant. It's a community. So if you work with people that have residents, they're normally patients that come from rehabilitation, or they come from um, like a one-on-one from home, and then you know the kids don't want them no longer to be living inside the house, so they can't take care of them, so they put them in it's called an assisted senior living. So when they put them in an assisted senior living, they don't want to call it a facility. So this is just knowledge for the people that are in the food industry. There's things that are in the fast food place, and then there's things where there's kitchens that are like in the jailhouse, hospitals, senior livings. Okay. Now, if you pick a kitchen director as a manager, like say he worked at a fast food, you can't think of just what some of the intake that people cannot have, because that's just one hint for you guys to know that fast food does not care what you can or cannot take. It's what you order, right? Now, in a facility, I'm gonna call it a facility because, mind you guys, just remember this facility is professional. The definition of, in terms of professional, um, bringing as a business, a company, because a company is a business, right? So the company is a facility. Why? Because the seniors need help. Now, we're going to get back to the fast food thing about diets and intake. Okay. See, these people are not knowledged inside these kitchens, because I've been through different communities, different rehabilitations. And when you go through that, you're very, very well um like high source. There's too many sources that you have from saying, oh, well, if they have a problem over there, you know what's going on. You know what can possibly help that situation, or you can possibly tell the answer to this situation because you guys are not too knowledgeable about it. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, you guys, it's just so fucking funny. I swear to God. And then we have old servers that's been there for 15 years, and it's like they still don't get it. What made me pissed off today was, well, just the server. I mean, yeah, nothing that had to do with no residents, no none of that. Nothing that was outside that was me having to say why this and why that, why that. No, I basically asked the question to the server. Okay, normally I'll do this by myself. She needed help today. Why? Because she's, I don't know. She they wanted to be like, hey, I don't have to do this by myself. I'm seniority here. I've been doing so many years here, so it's best if you have somebody else come. Well, now if somebody's sick, why would you ask that person to do more limitations, more than what she can do? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, you're a woman, but you're in your 70s. Do you not understand? Like when people get diagnosed, when people are sick, when people have situations that where they're going to be going into certain situations, it's like they wait until something is being um, brought to them where it's handled for them, and then that's where they see it. Because I noticed that I gave them a lot of tips today. I left them clues that were on tables that she missed, and she's been there for 15 years. You have it ready inside the kitchen, but if I haven't reminded you about to get that to put it there and that to put it there, it's like, why do you make the people go back and forth to go do runs just to go grab a cup of fucking blueberries to go bring it back to that person? My hands, this is the situation. If you know that I'm not pushing, when I say pushing, is like keep it pushing, right? If you know that I'm not pushing a fucking round tray to carry to go bring shit outside, then you should know the audacity to know that, hey, she can't really carry too much shit. So that means that if she can't carry too much shit, that means she can't go back and forth to go do it. It's best if she pushes the tray cart. It's a small one. It's a smaller one. This one is like a very tiny one that can hold like as much as like 6 or 7 plates and even just small stuff. It's the ones that you could push where you're like putting pictures in there and then you're serving them. It's just like in a airplane. Okay, there's a little tiny cart just exactly like that. So a tiny cart that you're pushing. So you ask, well, what would you like to drink? And they say, oh, can I have, a cranberry, just some cranberry juice with some ice? Okay, you got it. Now with them, they'll have it prepared on the table an hour before they're even sitting down. Their juices are getting warm, milks are getting timing or timed. See, now what I do is I grab a pan, a metal pan about a half a whole handful, a whole hand size and a half. And I put ice in there and I put my orange juice pitcher inside there. So I leave it under ice. And then by the time it hits 7 o'clock, because they'll sit down at 7:30, that's when you start pouring their juices for them and having it set out on the table. If you want it to be early, like, set on their table so then you can get on to the next thing. Because then when they sit down, oh, it's right there. But it's only been sitting there for 30 minutes. Now, why have it sit out there for since from 6:30 and while and they're not because we come in at 6. She's done at 6:30 by pouring all the juices, milks, and water. Okay, cold water. Now, if you're having all these things uh placed out for a whole hour, that's a little bit too long for it to sit out there. What you do is, and like myself, the professional mind that is just this is how it goes in the kitchen. You put it the pitchers under ice. A pan. Just if you don't want to wash it, toss it out, toss the ice out, rinse it, and put it back. You don't have to let it run through the washer. That's how it goes. It's just one easy step for you to care for the residents because that's what they are. You're you're running yourself into a business that is business. You can't overlook that this is what you do at home and bring it to work. Because some of them I could see as home cook chefs, and then some I see as commercial. When I say commercial, that's like that, all I think about is just making the food, but I don't care what the people intake. Now, with me, I'm like a universal because I know how it goes from having someone at a home bed. They call it a home bed, like, a bed patient just in the room, can't can't get up. So a caregiver has to go into the room and serve them. Now, the caregiver is the one that writes down the request of the order. So basically, they have to know everything. If this person can't take salt, if this person cannot take dairy, if this person cannot eat meat, vegetarian, stuff like that, It's just, it gets easier and easier as you go along. When you really do work hard in your inner like thinking, you know what I'm saying? No stress. But when other people seem to not get it, it just it makes you like ask questions. Why is it that it was common sense earlier today? Now you have 4 little cups of blueberries, and you have one that's the very special lady that will always ask for it because her intake is a low blood sugar. So all she eats is oatmeal, blueberries, green tea, and one half of a slice of English muffin. Now, if she has that, then that's an everyday thing. Now, the one across her likes the same thing. She likes the yogurt and the blueberries, but she'll put the blueberries either in the yogurt or in the oatmeal. Now, the older lady chef, she did not put it on her table. She's waiting for her to ask for it. I said, why would you not lay it there and have it ready for them, just like how you had laid it for the other lady? It's like, why are you doing that to these residents? You're putting things out there that one has one and the other one doesn't have one when every day that's what they're eating on a daily. They're eating these things on a daily. They won't change it. Bobby will not change and say, hey, no, I don't want blueberries today. She will not say that. She will have it every day. Cecile is a must. You see how that's 2 different things? Cecile is a must because of her low blood sugar. Now, Bobby, she likes it because of her intake. Now, that's her um almost like her interest, her most interest, but she believes in her most interest. This is what I should eat. Some people kind of eat because of they watching what they're eating. Now, Cecile is because of a health situation, low blood sugar. Bobby is because she's watching what she eats, but it's still a daily kind of thing. And it's like, Why the fuck did she do that shit? Why have the other think that she couldn't have it when the other one was because of her situation? You know damn well these people's gonna want it, and then they make you go back for it. You know, it's easy to say, "Oh, yes, 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 I can grab it. I can grab it." Very much. You know, that's how like I talk to them. But then when I let the server know, "Hey, why didn't you just have it out there?" "Oh, no, because I'm waiting for them to ask for it." No, you just don't wait for them to ask for it. If you laid out the orange juices and the milks and the waters out there the same time that you put the blueberries and the yogurt or the applesauce, then why not have it for each one that is already having it on a daily? So she got caught with two people that asked for it and she didn't have it on their table. Why do that to them? And why have it for you to try and grab it back? Because then I guess that's what you were doing. But then they're not asking you, they're asking me because they catch up to me. They say, "Oh, hey, hey, hey." So when they're doing this, they're trying to catch my attention. That means they know that I was the one that's always willing to give it to them all the time. So they stop me. But that's the thing. I don't like that. I don't like where she's lacking off of something where they're scared to ask her, but then they say, "Oh, oh, oh, she forgot my blueberries," stuff like that. And then they ask me. So yeah, that's where I try to get on the Moon lady, the older Indian lady. I was like, it just kind of, I said, "Why wouldn't you do that if you have it ready right here inside the kitchen?" "Oh, no, I'm just waiting for them to ask for it." Okay, now if you're waiting for them to ask for it and because you know that you carry a round tray, I'm not carrying a round tray. I can't just go grab it and just like hurry up and come back. I'm bringing other stuff too. I'm building. I'm building plates and I'm putting them on my cart so I can take it out. You are like, okay, one here, one here, one here on a round tray. So that's little small stuff. You go back and forth to do your little whatever. No, for me, when I build, I ask, what, Gail, what are we having? Are you ready? Stuff like that. David, shit, all these people. She is like, she knows it from the top of her head what they want. For me, I know what they want. But sometimes they have like just alternate, you know what I'm saying? One will say, "Oh, I don't want to do the pancake today." And she wants the English muffin, but just a half, Sometimes they do change. You just got to catch that. And I really do. I feel like I'm like a psychic, sometimes I know that it's a little bit different from a certain day. But normally when I do ask, it's communication. You know what I'm saying? It's proper way of speaking to them. Oh, when you come inside, "Good morning," and then you're like, "Oh, okay, are we gonna have your," and then you say what they're having, and then they're gonna say yes. So that's just a simple yes. So mostly every day will just be like yes, 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 yes from them because I already know what they want, you know. So that's how I put in my work. Yeah, Terrence, you be having off the wall ass shit for real, fast food. Like, and then the director, the kitchen director, he's the type of person that doesn't care about the people that are sitting down. What it is that he'll what he wants is by paper. If a specific resident is on an intake, I mean a diet that has an intake that says, okay, low sodium, no salt, or this one can't eat beef. I mean pork. And then there's another one that can't eat beef. Um, so yeah, okay, you make the food, but it just doesn't have certain types of things. switch the gloves if they're allergic to something that's grabbing from right next to it and stuff like that. But now, when it comes to textures, so residents that are bed rest, like, I mean, bed patients, like, in the rooms, they have certain types of, um, it's called, what is it called? It's called, yeah, it's called textures. So some of them can't have solid foods. They have to have puree shit. And some directors and managers don't kind of um, go abide by those rules, like those situations, because they're so into knowing that when you make food, it's just from one ingredient to the other, or just grabbing a piece of slice of bread, and then you spread the mayo on there, and then you put the turkey, and you put the other slice of bread, and that's it. They don't think about that it has to be pureed. And then they're thinking in their mind, oh shit, this is going to slow me down. I have to go back there and I have to get a blender and I have to make sure that it's blended. So that's one thing that can cause a manager to kind of catch them off guard if they haven't been used to it, and they're just having to get used to it throughout just the same year. He's only been there for like 6 months. So he's still kind of new. So I've been there for 2 years. That doesn't mean anything, but it's like, from what I know, is the way, because I can see it from where I'm at. Now, if he's coming in and I know he still has to kind of get used to places, touch this, touch that, where is that, where is this? And yeah, that's how kitchen goes. It can get crazy. That's, I mean, like, it can get too out of the ordinary for your well timing, or like, well, like putting things in order. Or it can be like, oh shit, I got that, okay, this, that. But see, other people don't get it. Junior, somebody tell me that your mom passed away. Who are you talking to? I'm sorry for your loss, Tina. Oh shit. Junior, I never knew my mama, so what the fuck you talking about? Oh shit. Okay. My bad, Tina. I see you though, Tina. Yeah, so Maria's gonna have to help Maymoon for lunchtime. Um, oh yeah, look, I scrolled up, you guys. Look. I scrolled up, right? Look who the hell, look who the hell this shit is. I scroll the fuck up and it's this motherfucker. Okay, yeah, but yeah, back to me because I need to go see my screen. This is the thing. With that situation, dude in the woods, I don't need to be talking about him, about my situation over here. But yeah, I already knew what was going on over there. Terrence, if you still here, yeah, you already know that I called it out. I called it out since when before he even went to go see old girl. I told y'all that he was scamming before he even seen the girl. When he started not going live like 2 days in a row after he was building the hideaway spot. What's up, Coffee Cake? I'm gonna go inside my room now, y'all. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this short. But like I said, um, yeah, I said today I'm too tired. I came home at 7:30. I only rested for like goddamn, what, 5 hours. That's not enough for me. And really, in in my body cannot be overworked where something where I'm already feeling the way how I'm feeling. Like, you know, I'm already what I am. You know what I mean? So why do that to a person? Like, don't push that person to keep doing more things than what it is. So I said, you know what? Um, yeah, I said I'm not gonna do lunchtime, and I'm not gonna do dinner. I said you could have Maria do it, and I said, you know, with Maymoon, she can do this by herself. She's done it before, you know. And then he's like, oh, okay, like this, like that, and I was like, yeah, you know, I said I talked to Marie yesterday. Marie is the executive director, and she knows about. We talked yesterday on the phone, so she knows that I was about, you know, I'm ready to leave there. So basically, I just said, like, I'm not gonna stay today because I'm too tired. And so yeah, but I came to work, was good until Indian lady just doesn't realize, or even the guy, the kitchen director, he doesn't understand. There's limits to when you bring like a letter from the hospital. Just keep it like that. Don't overwork them. Don't put them in too many hours of their regular shift. It's not that hard. I know you guys are low staff. Everybody's leaving there. There's 2 additional people that left in memory care. There's only 6 people over there in total that's working. Um, in our section, there's only 3 chefs, well, 2 chefs and 1 kitchen director. And he is a chef too, but I don't know what kind of fucking chef he is. He's more like a home cook kind of, you know. Like, he, you know, he learned the ways of how to do commercial, but it's just he's too old. He needs somebody to kind of pick up the pace. He was very like backed up on when we were starting. He was in the bathroom, and everybody's sitting down, already done with their oatmeals, and they're already ready for their breakfast. That we had to wait for another additional 15 minutes just to ask him to go make some eggs, like some over easy eggs and all that. We're like, where is he at? Me and the Indian lady was like cool at that time, until I started going out. I started pouring coffees and everything. I'm gonna read your message, Terrence. Um, I started pouring coffees on hot water, you know, um, greeting everybody because keeps asking me, am I okay? Am I okay? You know, they're already knowing that I'm going to be leaving this weekend. So I cut it short to, you know, you guys know my Wednesdays and my Thursdays, my usually days off. So today was my Friday, but I just told them, hey, I can't do this double shift. It'd be best if you just put me as 11 to 7. So he was like, what? So do you want to come back at 11? I was like, no. I said, you could have Maria do it. I said, she was helping yesterday anyway. You know what I'm saying? You guys can't rely on who can do the job. It's what is placed. I gave you guys a hospital letter. Now, remember that. It's something that you have to keep on the tip of the top of your head to understand that if it says right here, I'll show you guys. I have a copy of it. Where's my copy? It says right here, a letter from the hospital. We had 3 pieces of paper. It says right here, I'll just cover this part, but it says July, date of visit, July 29, to whom it may concern. It it is my medical opinion that, oh shit, this is my last name, Aaron, um, returned to light duty immediately with the following restrictions: no heavy lifting. Okay, so there are some things that are like big pictures, you know what I'm saying? Coffee dispensers, the hydration, which is the big old water hydration. But see, we don't put water in there and transfer it. We just put ice and then we put 2 pitchers of water, and then that's when we start pouring it over because it's too heavy. Now, that's one thing, especially that I couldn't do. So, you know, sometimes the dishwasher will do it because of my situation. Because Desiree, she got, you know, she'll help me. And then Maymoon, she'll just do it because she knows sometimes she's by herself. But now, if it was me, knowing that I'll be by myself, that I would be doing it too. You know what I'm saying? I have it ready out there, and just because it's it's the way how our kind of like from spot to spot. You know what I mean? Like, okay, this is done here, this is done there, and all that shit. Anyways, I don't know how this came out. Yeah, so I just came from work and I only did 1 hour. So basically, I woke up just to get to work and do 1 hour. It's like I would rather just do that and explain it to them, saying, hey, um, you know, I know that you put me like as in a double shift, but kind of like I'm kind of tired. Like, why do that when, you know what I mean? And I didn't even explain to him like why do that. Like, why put me in a double? I did, but he was like, oh well, you took it, and I'm like, but you got to think about it. Just because you see an open, like, that's my regular schedule, Mondays and Tuesdays as a dishwasher. If you know that I can't be carrying heavy stuff, then you should assign me to the same hour, 11 to 7, and not put me 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You know what I'm saying? It's a little too much. So I try to get on him and tell him about it. And he was like, well, you accepted it. But yeah, why don't you just think about what is the circumstances on my end? It's like, what kind of a bird brain do you have? You know? So it didn't even really make sense for me to even say. But I'm going to keep this short because what we are going to do today, I'm going to go walk to the grocery store. I'm going to go grab a few items, okay? Grab a few vegetables and stuff like that. And then I'm going to go throw in my little chicken wings in the barbecue grill. But I'm going to read those last few questions. I got to go pee hella bad, y'all. Bad. I got to go pee because of this coffee. I might just drink a little bit more. And my coffee is decaf too. And he was like, "This is a restaurant." I'm like, "This is a community, not a restaurant. You need to know what the definitions of what assisted livings are. Assisted livings don't have fucking restaurants. Assisted livings have a dining that has food, but you still have to go about. Hold on, I'm gonna put you guys over here. You guys have to go about. Yes, coffee cake. I cannot be. Yes, 7 to 7, girl. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That is a lot of stand. That's why I was so tired yesterday. I was like, why the I was like, even last night, I was like, as much as sleep as like as much as sleep that I got, I slept from fucking what time did I sleep? Like 8 to like fucking I woke up at like 12:30. That was 4.5 hours. And then I woke up and I used the bathroom, and then I went back to sleep from 1 o'clock to 5. So that was, there's a gap time in between that I was awake for a little bit. But once you're awake from waking up from a 4.5, you feel like, okay, your body is trying to tell you that, just get to something where you could, catch yourself to, it's like you're training your body because you have to get up at 5. So I try to go pee because I drank from last night. I try to stay hydrated and shit like that. And it's just kind of like your program like that. But as far as with my situation, I was tired. So that 4.5 hours was not enough hours for me to rest. And then when I came to sleep from 1 to 5, I was still sleepy at 5. I was like, "Oh my god." I said, "I'm still in a deep sleep." The fucking alarm came off and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm still going to go to work." And I'm like, "Man," I said, "I don't even think my body could even take 2 shifts today." I said, "I'm tired." My body is not like, since they did a lot of like blood work and put all these like contrast like medicines in me to find it, just made me feel like it's showing. It's showing of what just I don't, is it symptoms? I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna go change my clothes. I'm gonna get out of here. Coffee cake, I might have to call you because, girl, whatever that I was just explaining earlier to in my life about how kitchens should be in communities. This is a senior living. A community is not a restaurant. A restaurant is a restaurant. The focus on a restaurant, in a restaurant, is there's a door to go in, so that's you coming inside the restaurant with your uh by your well-being. It's like saying, like, premeditated. You thought about it. I want to go and shit like that. These people are old. They could say yes but don't really mean like that's what they really want to say. Yes. When caregivers ask them, do you want to eat? Sometimes they'll just say yes just to say yes because that's what they only know what to say. Or they can say no. Or they don't want to explain to, sometimes old people can't even really explain too goddamn much. So the caregivers push them into the dining. Sometimes residents are nosy. They want to see if there's new people that'll come in. They want to see if new people will sit down and give them a conversation about what happened yesterday, new topics, new this, new that. But normally it's just a sit down. They talk, and then you'll hear some of their little stories that they'll talk about, that what happened from the day before, you know. But that's why I call it a community. It's a facility. A kitchen is a kitchen, but you don't call it a restaurant. You don't call assisted senior living dining as a restaurant. You just call it, it's like dining. That's just what that is. Dining is in a bigger terms of when you need to, because it's really a facility. They don't want to call it a facility. They say in a professional way, they call it a community because they don't want you to go by those terms. That people don't want to think like they're like mentally like in uh stated from the people outside to know that that's what they're having inside the room. Hospital beds, all these medications, things like that. But then that's personal. So that's why they call it um, residents instead of patients. They don't want to be called patients, they want to be called residents. So that's what I learned off of somebody that was in the communities that's been working there for years. Okay, that's what I learned. Now this guy, mm-mm, it's not the way to go, sir. You're in a whole different ass program. You don't know about you don't know why, like even with the old manager, but this one, it's like he gets some of the things to like make textures for certain residents, but he doesn't even really know how to take care of the memory care, like the people with that has dementia. Uh-uh. He's not he's not anywhere close. I mean, he's not, I don't want to say close, but he's not anywhere where he knows what as far as like it's just simple shit. Breakfast time, what they have, and then it's like a schedule, like when you're feeding a kid. When you're feeding a kid, there's like, okay, breakfast, snack time, lunch, another snack time. But see, memory care, not all of them eat the same. They're only pushing them to do certain things to eat that way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that shit don't make no sense. But what's up, DA? Yeah, facts. I got overtime. I've been working my tail off here lately. Sometimes you need a break from work, especially if you've been working back to back. Yeah, yesterday was a 7 to 7, but as far as I normally could do that. I was doing that for a long time. I was doing that every like in holidays, where people like because they were slowly leaving. The big tall Filipino server, he's not there anymore. Um, the Filipino girl that me and her were not kind of cool. She she resigned too because she had another job. Sure, and the tall Filipino dude, he resigned there too because he had another job. So, but because they're not liking the kitchen director, basically that's just what that is. So with these people that are ending up there, they have to sacrifice their, I guess, situation to stay there because they need to work. And they're, yeah, and they don't like him at all. None of them, not even the people that are seniority, not even the older people, they don't even like him either. So this shit is kind of hard. But I gotta go change because I'm gonna go rest for a little bit because yeah, I can't push myself too much. Just like how I said, I was tired yesterday and I'm still tired. So I need to go talk to Marie. Let me go get on this executive director and let me talk to her because I need a word with her. So I'm gonna get out of here, you guys. I'll go do some barbecue stuff. Um, I don't know if I'll do it tonight or maybe tomorrow. So I still gotta go get a few more ingredients. I'll do that today and I'll pop up tomorrow. So yeah, just having to show you guys. If I have other topics to talk about tonight, then I'll get on. But other than that, that's just what that is. I can't overwork myself to do a double today when I know I'm already leaving by next week. I've already said this. My treatment is on the 12th. It's already been dated. I don't know if you guys have not heard that, but I've been talking about it on my past lives. So I already knew that this weekend was going to be my last of the times of over at the community where the assisted living is at. And uh yeah, having to just situate over there and just shit. Them residents is really the ones that are kind of like, how do you say, multiplying over there. I see new people. There's a new, I don't know what the fuck he is, an Asian dude or whatever. There's and then some people are leaving. New couples were coming in, so it's like a new thing, and then kitchen shit. But kitchen shit is just stupid ass shit. Okay, stupid shit that is just I don't know how it's gonna go, but I still do have Desiree. She will be the messenger, and she will be telling me everything, and she will be the one to, I guess, send messages from what the residents tell about me if I'm doing okay. She'll be like, "Oh, Flo is asking if you're okay," and then she'll text me, and I'll be the one to kind of answer back and be I mean to communicate. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Let me go call the executive director and let her know that she wanted to send the medical leave forms yesterday, but she said that since I was busy yesterday doing it by myself, she's like, "Oh, I'll talk to you tomorrow morning."